Hello, this is Julie Jordan Scott. I'm so grateful you are here. I wanted to talk today about the 3 things that you are most likely to find videos from me about. The 3 topics I'm most likely to speak about on video. Also to share with you 2 fun things that I might talk about that aren't necessarily my main topics. And I'm also curious if you have any questions about these topics that you would like for me to answer. You know, kind of like, what's the Julie approach on this or that? So if you've been watching me at all, you know that I talk a lot about writing. Writing is one topic that I will cover, absolutely. I'm mostly a creative nonfiction writer. I've mostly been published in anthologies, things like essays and how-tos and things like that. I have written a play. Actually, I've written 2 plays that have been performed, and I've had poetry published in books and anthologies. I've also had greeting cards published. Kind of fun. I'll also talk about creative process. And with creative process, I will go to places across the genre. So, for example, I might talk about the theater one day. I might talk about film. I might talk about poetry. I might talk about mixed media art. I might even throw in some history stuff, art history or creative practice history or biography. Then the 3rd thing that I will talk about is parenting. I will talk about advice perhaps for parents who have children on the spectrum. My book that's coming out next is about my journey as a mother of a child on the spectrum. Almost not a child anymore. And then the fun stuff that I'll be talking about. I sometimes talk about literary grannies. These are women writers who might not be in the literary canon as much as I think they should be. I love to focus in on those women writers who aren't as well known. But I also know that I build my audience by talking about some more famous writers. So some of my favorites favorite famous writers are people like Emily Dickinson. I visited her home many times. It's kind of like my mecca during April, which is National Poetry Month here in the U.S. I also love Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I've been to her home and I've read all of her books, and I could really get going in this, but I've traced her path when she visited her daughter in 1915. I've literally traced her path from San Francisco to Oakland to Berkeley. I've ridden on the road imagining what it was like. Yes, I can get way off on that. The other thing that I love to talk about is travel and history. One of my goals involves traveling. I will get to that further down the road, but for now, these are the main topics you'll hear me talk about. So if you'll do me a favor, let me know in the comments what you'd like to hear more of. Like this video, and subscribe if you don't already, if any of those topics sound interesting to you, because I would love to get to know you better. My name again is Julie Jordan Scott. I am the Creative Life Midwife.